All right, thank you very much. I'm joined with Danny David, head coach at Pilot Point. Appreciate you joining us today. Hey, I want to talk before we start getting into this year. I want to talk a little bit about last year. You guys had that pandemic. Everybody had to deal with it, postponements, rescheduling games, everything like that. But maybe the one bright spot, I don't even want to know if I want to call it a bright spot, is that first month, all eyes were on 4A and below. People couldn't drive out to Allen or Duncanville to see games, so they're coming. I mean, you have your core fan base that was with you anyway, but you probably had a lot more eyes on you than before. How did you feel like you got a little bit more exposure, and how did that feel for you?
Yes, sir. A lot of the newspapers, the Dallas Morning News, and other people like that were reaching out to us, doing stories on our kids and our games because, like you said, the higher classifications wasn't playing yet. I thought it was great. Not that we was in the pandemic and the other schools wasn't getting to play. It's just that these kids got some more publicity, some more exposure. Sometimes they may not get it. We totally understand, that there's more papers, more things being sold in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the bigger schools and things. But, it seemed like our games, we had great crowds at most of our games and, things like that. Especially early, I think it was because maybe we was the only show in town. And, I thought it was great.
Let's talk a little bit about the landscape of 3A coming up. It's changed a little bit, 3A Division I. Brock has usually been dominant, but their coach has gone down to Houston. It's a Houston area. Grandview's kind of graduated some of their big guys that have been dominating the last couple of years and getting into state title games. How do you see that helps you guys fit in the 3A Division I landscape here in DFW?
I know that, Brock's losing a great coach and a great guy in Coach Worrell, but, they're used to winning. And when your kids are used to winning, you may bring somebody else in there and they may change the system yet, but they're used to winning. And those guys are still going to work hard. They're still going to be contenders, until somebody knocks them off. They're always at the top year in, year out. Grandview's the same way. When you get that program established, you don't rebuild, you reload. And I kind of feel like that's what these guys will be doing, as well. I was hoping that we're getting our program to that point where we're going to reload. We're going to be contenders every year and not just pretenders.
Well, you certainly are not going to be a pretender this year, especially with Ish Harris running with y'all. Talk about his game, how he might, how he changes the game for you offensively and defensively.
Well, Ish is a tremendous athlete. He's got unbelievable God-given ability and talent. If he continues to work hard, I see his future being very bright. Our team's probably gonna be a little different this year. Losing our quarterback Max Holler, which was a dual threat. He could throw well enough to keep you honest, but he could really run, and you really couldn't focus on the Ish. This year, we're gonna have to be a little different. We're gonna have a different type of quarterback. I think we're still gonna be able to throw the ball, but Ish is gonna be the guy we're really gonna rely on, especially early. We lost a few offensive linemen. We're going to have to let those guys develop as well. So I see Ish being a big part of what we're going to try to do. And, hopefully, and I think he can do it. Defensively, he's our cover corner. He does whatever we ask him to. The year before, he played a little defensive end for us. Last year, we needed him as a cover corner, so he was our cover corner guy. He's a big 6'4", 195-pound guy where as much man-to-man as we play, we're going to put him on the best receiver. And, that's a lot of pressure on the Ish, but I think he can handle it. I think he accepts it. And, if he's going to excel at the next level, he's got to be able to excel at this level doing the kind of things we're asking him to do.
What's it like having a versatile guy like that? I think you just named all 5-6 positions he can play.
Yeah, it's great to have a guy like that. I hate having to use a guy like that because that means we ain't got much depth because we're having to put this guy at so many different spots. But, that's part of the problems, the challenges you have at a smaller classification in schools. But it's also a unique opportunity for him to play both sides of the football. That I think that helps his exposure even better. A lot of people know him as a running back, but I think his future may be on the defensive side of the football in college.
That's true. I mean, heck, you talk about college and pros, they kind of feel like a running back can be plugged in from anywhere. But if he's got defensive abilities, that's probably the route he might want to go if he wants to go to the second and third level. But speaking one last thing about Ish, is it helping your other guys? getting recruited, getting looks? Do you tell them, hey, they're coming in to see Ish, but if you show out here in practice or in this game, you might get some looks that you might not have thought or expected?
Yeah, I think it's helped. Being fortunate enough to go, play 14 games the last 2 years, we put, I want to say, 4 guys last year in colleges. They all went D1, but that's where it starts. And those guys getting publicity helped Ish get where he's at today. The same thing. We put, I think there's 4 or 5 that signed this year to go play college football. And, things like that. So I think it helps. I think these guys I think they get excited. It'd be different if the dead period wasn't so long right now in the NCAA, and you could actually see those guys, those recruiters out here. But they hear all the tweeting and the different stuff that's going on between coaches and Ish right now, and it gets Ish excited. I think it gets his teammates excited because, like we tell them, like you just said, hey, they're out here seeing Ish, but they see you on TV, on the tape, you show out, they're going to be calling about you as well. And so I think it helps.
Excellent. I guess finally, talk about, I know it's very early, but talk about where you think you guys could fall in District 4, 3A, potential-wise. Where do you think you could run at that district title? Well,
that's our goal every year is not just a district title, it's to make the playoffs and play for that state title. But, I feel like, Brock's still going to be the front runner. I think Paradise is an up-and-coming program. I think they're going to be extremely, extremely tough. Peaster, being the second year with the new coach there, I think they're going to be good. Boyd, they've got a history of playing really good football. So I don't know. I think our district's going to be even stronger this year. I think it's going to be tougher. It'd be great to win a district championship, but that's not our goal. Our goal is, to get in the playoffs and then make that run, for that state championship.
Perfect. Well, hey, good luck to you, and thank you for spending some time with us today.
Well, I thank you, and I appreciate you reaching out to us.